When Star Trek's production crew was tasked with building a brand new galactic adversary in 1991, they didn't have a Hollywood feature film budget to work with. They had a standard television line item, an intense production deadline, and a room full of plywood. Unlike the Klingons, who enjoyed a massive movie-funded visual overhaul, the Cardassian Union had to be engineered entirely from scratch. To do this, legendary designer Herman Zimmerman and his team couldn't rely on expensive custom sets. Instead, they weaponized a strict set of psychological design rules. By banning 90-degree angles, forcing builders to work strictly with concentric ellipses, and basing every single prop on the number 3, the crew created an aesthetic that felt terrifyingly authoritarian. It was an entire empire constructed out of cheap, vacuum-formed plastic, neon tubes, and brilliant geometric constraints. Zimmerman embraced a philosophy that he called the crustacean approach. Borrowed from the costume designer Robert Blackman's rigid leather armor concepts of the next-generation Cardassians, Zimmerman decided that Cardassian architecture should wear its skeleton on the outside. Every structural column, support beam, and heavy archway was left fully exposed. This didn't just save money on drywall and backing, it instantly gave the architecture a brutal, heavy, and claustrophobic weight that fit a military regime perfectly. To make it look alien without spending a fortune, everything had to be warped. Square doors became heavy and gear-like. Computer monitors weren't square blocks, they were integrated into wide, sweeping wedges. By forcing the carpenters to use sharp, aggressive angles, the crew turned cheap plywood and medium-density fiberboard into an architectural language that felt intensely alien, rigid, and deeply uncomfortable to walk through. To tie this entire aesthetic together, the designers leaned heavily on the power of 3. Cardassian light fixtures came in groupings of 3. Computer buttons were clustered in triads. The entire space station itself was built with 3 massive sweeping docking pylons. This geometric repetition was the ultimate budget shortcut. Instead of buying hundreds of unique futuristic props, the crew could vacuum mold one single basic plastic shape, replicate it, and group them in 3s across a wall. To the casual viewer, it looked like a complex, highly specialized military interface. In reality, it was a masterclass in industrial repetition. The geometric rules of Cardassian architecture didn't stop at the walls of Deep Space Nine. They extended directly into deep space. When ship designer Rick Sternbach was tasked with building the signature Cardassian cruiser, the Galler class, he had to make a television model look as massive and detailed as a movie-budget Klingon bird of prey. His solution? Vacuum mold the ship's entire hull out of cheap, lightweight plastic sheet layers, deliberately stacking them to form an abstract golden-brown Egyptian ankh, or arrowhead shape. In the 1990s, lighting a studio model usually required thousands of tiny, fragile fiber optic strands hand-threaded through the hull. This process took weeks and cost a fortune. To bypass this entirely, model builders Ed Miarecki and Tom Hudson hollowed out the plastic hull of the Galler class and placed inexpensive neon gas tubing inside. The neon light bled through the gaps naturally, creating the illusion of hundreds of individual glowing alien windows in a fraction of the time and at a fraction of the cost. The final trick was purely theatrical. Because the physical models were small, directors always filmed them from extreme angles, making the flat, cheap plastic panels look like towering plates of impenetrable military armor. The legacy of Cardassian design proves that world-building isn't a question of infinite funding. By using rigid geometric boundaries, external skeletons, and clever practical lighting hacks, the Deep Space Nine design crew built a terrifyingly consistent fascist empire that outlasted its budget and carved its name permanently into sci-fi history. Thanks for watching. This is Latinum Budgets, Secrets of Trek Production and Budgeting. Please subscribe and check out our other videos.